Hello, hi, and welcome to My Opinion with me, Just Mashadi, where we discuss topical issues, commentary, pop culture news, reviews, and so much more. Now, with that being said, please note that all the opinions shared on this video are my opinions. I am in no way saying that they are factual or actual events. And without wasting any time, let's get into it. Now, as you would have seen by the thumbnail, you would have seen that we're doing a review on this new exciting reality show called The Mummy Club. Now, just in a nutshell, to give you a summary of what The Mummy Club is, it's basically a show following four women with their kids and their nannies as we take a sneak peek into their lives and their houses, their homes, the cars that they drive, what they dress, how their kids dress, etc., etc. So in a nutshell, just to give you the cast, so we've got Miss Mops, who was formerly on The Real Housewives of Johannesburg. We've got Miss Manche, that is very well known on the social media streets. And we've got Her Majesty. I personally found out about her on Carte Blanche when they were covering that Tammy Taylor scandal. And we also have Ratile, who is apparently a wellness enthusiast. I don't know who she is. And we also have Nunu Rai, who is an events coordinator extraordinaire, darling. She also does floral arrangements. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is the cast. I did notice though on this episode there was also another social media bae, Omuhlekela, that did a short stint, which left me confused. But in any case, we'll get into that later on. So yeah, basically, on the first episode, we start. Please don't mind me looking on the side. I've got notes because I want to make sure that I'm concise. So yes, on the first episode, we start off with Mrs. Mops Honey in her fabulous home that we would have all seen previously on The Real Housewives of Johannesburg. She's got such a gorgeous, homey, warm home, beautiful, well decorated, and you can just tell that like it's money, right? So we go into the scene. It's her daughter, and her helper, Manchi, who appears to be such a darling, such a sweetheart. I love the relationship. The dynamic seems very, very healthy, very friendly, and it seems as though the kids adore her. And Miss Manchi, as you can tell, loves her job, and as she says, she is the boss of the house. And so what I picked up is that I can tell already from this episode that Mrs. Mops is the nucleus, because you will see that, you know, she's the one that's connecting the ladies, that's calling the ladies, that's getting them together, that's introducing the ladies to one another, etc., etc. So on that scene, Miss Mops calls Miss Manche. They say that they followed each other for years and years and years on Instagram, darling, and they're yet to meet. They haven't yet met. It seems on the outside looking in that they've got a lot in common. Miss Manche also mentions that, but she goes on in to say that sometimes similarities can be the reason why two people cannot get along, and I totally understand that. I totally get it. That sometimes when two characters that are very similar in character and personality and everything, that it can cause a bit of a, you know. But so far, Miss Manche and Miss Mops seem like they're compatible because they've got so much in common. We quickly head on to Miss Manche's home, and she's there with her 3 children, her 3 adorable, adorable, adorable children. Those kids are so adorable. But while we're on that adorable, I completely get the space that Miss Manche is in. She's got 3 kids under the age of 4 years. It is quite a bit chaotic. It is quite hectic. The kids are screaming, they're yelling, all of that. And coupled with the fact that there's probably strangers in the house, there's cameras. So obviously the normal routine is broken and all of that. I think as time goes on, the kids will definitely warm up to the cameras. But yeah, so far it's a bit chaotic, but I get it. I completely get it. I've got 3 kids of my own, so I completely get it. As we are at Miss Manche, we are introduced to her helper. So she's got 2 helpers, darling. Okay, the one that got screen time is the one that is actually her cousin. They're actually related. She says she's the au pair, the PA, extraordinaire and all of that. She seems like such a lovely young lady. She says she's 26 years of age. Says that Toho's her sister, and that she's learned not to take things personally when it comes to work, because she's learned to separate work and personal. The kids seem to love her as well. And we then move to sorry, these movements may not be in the exact correct order, but I'm just giving you an overview of the intro. We then move to Her Majesty. Her Majesty, Happy Simelane, is taking us on a shopping spree in Sandton, darling. We are at the Diamond Walk. She's going to her favorite shops. She's with her children and she is with her PA. And I have to tell you, that PA, we better keep an eye on him, because, darling, he has got personality for days. When I say for days, for days. I found myself smiling every time he got a confessional. So in any case, they're going on a shopping spree, and she gives her kids and her assistant the black card, and everyone goes on their merry way. And then we finally get to meet Nunurai. Nunurai is with her nanny, very down to earth, very motherly nanny, and with her son as well, who's turning a year old in a week's time. And so she is in preparation mode, honey. Okay, and in that preparation mode, she goes ahead and tells us that she spent over 180k so far on the kiddie's birthday. And guess what, the invoices are still coming in. So that number, that figure, is just a rough estimate. Now, I have to say, I like Nunurai. I don't know what it is about her. I like her energy. I like her. There's just something about her that I just find so endearing, that I like. She's a yummy mummy. She's got a stunning body. She's got a stunning home. And yeah, so that's Miss Nunurai, who is a doll, whom so far I think she's amazing. So now we see Miss Mops with Miss Manche on the phone. They are chatting and they're saying we need to turn this digital friendship, bring it into reality, and they make plans to meet, play date with the kids and the nannies, so they can sit down, have some champers, darling, and get to know each other better. And we see them going to this cute place where kiddies can play and jump and paint and do all of that, which is so cute for a first date, for a first mummy date. I think it was brilliant. They're there with both their helpers. The kids are playing nicely. Miss Mops and Miss Manche take a seat, and Miss Manche, darling, I didn't expect that from her, because Miss Manche, Tseho is such a darling. She is a darling. I don't think actually that when she sat down, anyways, I will get to that. So they sit down with Mrs. Mops, darling, and she says to her, and she asks her, you know, they're conversating about how many kids they have, and you know, and all of that, and they both happen to have 3 kids, and they're both married. And so Miss Manche then asked Miss Mops, darling, so tell me, she takes it back to the Real Housewives of Johannesburg, and she says, so tell me, with your former acquaintance or whatever, but basically your acquaintance, as we all can remember, one of the previous castmates, Burnett, had said that Miss Mops was cheating on the husband or something along those lines. So Miss Manche brought that onto the first episode, which I thought was actually brilliant. You know, let's talk about it, let's put it on the table. And I think it's a nice way to sort of discuss it, get over it, so that we can move on. It's a new show, so we can start afresh on a clean slate. And yeah, you know, and Miss Mops carried on to say her disdain at how she can't believe how jealous people are, and why they would create such stories is purely based on jealousy, because, you know, look at how, you know, where are they now? You know, she's still married, and, you know, what's their situation and all of that. Shady much, Miss Mops? Shady much, but we love the shade. We are here for it. That's the reason why we were here watching this show. We quickly then go back to Her Majesty with her children and her. They're now back from Santon, darling. They're back from the Diamond Walk, and the kids dented the black card. Well, you know, denting is relative. It depends who you are. The kids spent close to 10,000 rand, and darling, Mrs. Her Majesty was not impressed, saying she works extremely hard for her money and she cannot believe that these kids caused such a damage on her black card. Which makes me feel like, but I mean, you told them they must just swipe and swipe and swipe. So like, what is the issue? What is the story? I found that to be a little weird. But anyways, she sits with her PA and tells her that she wants to meet with one of the ladies. Oh, she tells the PA that her Tammy Taylor case, she was afforded a judgment, which means she won the case. And yeah, which means she should be expecting moolah in her bank account, rightfully so, because it's her money, it belongs to her. But in any case, she then says to her assistant, one of the ladies in the group is someone that she knows that owned a Tammy Taylor salon and all of that. She would love to have a meeting with that person, just to, like, as a temperature check to see where she is, how she handled the situation. Does she still own the salon? Does she blah, 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 blah. So the assistant goes ahead and says, okay, that's fine. I got you covered. So then the assistant in comes. So this is where Omuhle gets introduced to us. Omuhle is friends with Mrs. Mops. They also met on social media and they've been close ever since. And yeah, I don't know, like Omuhle's demeanor, man, I don't know, like her demeanor is just a bit off for me. It's a bit off because I believe that when you are signing up for a reality show, you know it's a reality show. People are going to come watch. People are inquisitive about your life. People want to know who you are, what you're about, outside of the little information that we get fed on social media, in blogs, in tabloids, and all of that. So her aura and her energy got me feeling weird, because I'm like, girl, you are on the show. Iba, like, be you and all of that. But in any case, her and Miss Mops are sitting there being shady girls, sipping on champagne, waiting for Her Majesty to arrive, and they asking themselves, what is this? Is it a meeting? Is it business? Is it personal? Is it this? Is it that? Which I found a bit strange, because I mean, you know, you're on a reality show. We all know it's an ensemble cast, which means y'all have to meet, you have to hook up, you have to be together, you have to, you know, to make the show great. So in walks Her Majesty in her cute little pigtails and a little dress. You know, everyone is looking cute, and She sits, she introduces herself. She's a bit caught off guard with Miss Mops being there because the meeting was between her and Omuhle, and I absolutely get it. Like, what is Miss Mops doing there? But, you know, we love the drama, we love the shade, we love the way that I was cracking up at Miss Mops' facial expressions. And side note, Her Majesty and Miss Mops already are giving me vibes of, I don't see them getting along. They probably come from very similar spectrums, but because of where life has put Miss Mops and where Happy comes from, it just, yeah, I just don't see it gelling. Don't see it gelling at all. When I see Miss Mops looking at Happy, Her Majesty, I see her thinking that Happy is giving her Mabusi vibes. Whatever those vibes are, we all know what those vibes are. We don't have to get into it. But anyways, yeah. So Happy joins them, and then something strange happens. They offer her champagne and she says no, she'll open a bottle of her own. And then when she's in the confessional, she actually mentions that she was poisoned once and therefore she doesn't trust anyone. Darling, whether it's on a reality show, whether it's on an international platform where the whole world is watching, and I mean, why would those ladies poison her? But in any case, that's, you know, her reasoning for why she cannot accept the bottle of bubbles, darling. So now Her Majesty does not waste any time. She gets into the whole Temi Taylor situation, and you can see Omuhle buckling and buckling and buckling. She's such a close book. I don't get it. Please do not go on reality show, reality TV if you have a closed personality, if you're closed off, if you're cold, if you're, you know, for whatever reason. Don't do it. That's not what reality is for. That's not what we want to see. On reality TV, we expect people to open up. We expect them to talk about their issues, and that is why we tune in, and that is why we watch. With that said, she is not buckling at all regarding the Temi Taylor issue. As they are seated right there, something strange happens, and I can't help but side-eye production, thinking, how can production do that? Because anyways, this is what happens. As they are sitting there, Her Majesty says, sorry, excuse me, I need to puke. I need to vomit. Okay. So Miss Mops is like, darling, are you okay? Are you okay? And she says, no, I'm okay. And someone from production quickly hands her a plastic bag, and she vomits right there in front of us. Right there in front of the whole nation. She vomits into a plastic bag. I found that so strange. I found it so strange. And in the confessional, we hear Miss Mops saying she could have ran to the bathroom and all of that and all of that. Okay, fine, I get that. What I see here is that Her Majesty definitely has a medical condition. Whatever that medical condition is, I think it has been communicated with production. I think they are fully aware that this one has a bit of a medical issue, a medical situation. And so what I find weird is the fact that they filmed it and they put it on the actual episode. I found that very distasteful. I found it distasteful not only for production to do that, but distasteful for towards the audience. I mean, having to watch that is not comfortable at all. It's not nice. Anyways, moving along swiftly. So then that dinner ends, and then it's now time for Nunu Rise, cute Nunu's first birthday. I'm just gonna rush through this because, you know, time is of the essence. But in any case, they go through to the first birthday. Everything is on point. I am so impressed with Nunu Rai's hands and her work and her heart. They all gather there. The ladies are looking fabulous, fashionable and everything. Miss Mops is like, is this a kiddies party? Because when she walked in, there was music going on about ass, shake your ass, shake your ass. And she's like, what is this? Is this a kiddies party or is it an adults party? I found that hilarious. Mrs. Mops' confessionals are shady and hilarious. In any case, as they're sitting there, they're getting to know each other, and Happy tells the ladies that, you know, she unfortunately lost her husband to a car accident. It's a very sad story, which I think they're going to go into. Happy kept on insisting, not today. Today's a joyous occasion, so let's do it at a later stage. Let's have a spa date so I can tell you guys all about it. And they segue into Miss Manche's confessional, and I have to say, Miss Manche is such a darling. She's such a sweetheart. Her confessional really touched me. Her saying, you know, it's so tragic for her to lose her husband. She can only imagine how hard it is. Like Miss Manche una le botho man, wa ratega, you know, wa ratega. And even personally, when you meet her personally, I have been around her, so she is such a lovable person. Absolutely, absolutely lovable. Ona le pelo e pila. She was raised so well, and yeah, I hope she continues, and I wish her so well with her little family and with her kids and all of that. Tseho, you are such a darling, my angel. You are just such an angel. So yeah, that is the Mummies Club recap. Oh, and at the end there was some drama with the kids. They were standing by the cake, and then it seems as though Tseho's son, 5-year-old son, 5-year-old, I think 4 or 5-year-old, licked the cake. Oh, disaster. Oh, disaster. So we'll see what happens next week. But yeah, Mummies Club is airing on Showmax. The first episode was on the 27th of June, darling. The next one will be on the 4th of July, the day before my birthday. And so far so good. And I cannot wait to see what Showmax has in store for us. Although, Showmax, it is annoying that you are giving us episode per week. You know, like we're not little kids. I don't know, don't chop little portions of episodes for us. Give us the whole season so we can binge and get into it and all of that, you know, like how other streaming services do it, you know. But yeah, in any case, that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed filming it, and stay tuned for more reviews on your favorite shows, reality TV, etc., etc. Goodbye, my lovies. Hope you have a pleasant day.